guys, what is up? My name is Karen, aka cakedbybabyk, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the new NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. I know it's been a hot minute since I've filmed and uploaded, and I'm sorry about that. I've been super busy the last couple of weeks. I usually pre-film my videos and upload them when the time comes, but I've just been super unmotivated lately, and school is coming up, so I've been working constantly every day to save up money because I am quitting my job. Today is my last day. I want to focus on my last year of school, and so I've just been working constantly and I haven't had time. I've also been sick, as you might hear in my voice, so I spent a week sick and I just couldn't bring myself to film or do makeup. I was feeling so crappy. So now that we're better, almost all better, we're going to film this foundation review. Y'all know I love testing foundations. I got two shades from the Can't Stop Won't Stop line. I first got Natural Buff and Beige. These both are yellow undertoned. I got mine at Ulta, and right now they're having a buy one get one 50% off. So of course I wasn't sure about my shade because, you know, the lighting in Ulta and all the other makeup stores is just it's just not accurate. So I bought two and I'm gonna test them both out. One seems a little bit more yellow. That's gonna be Beige. So we're gonna swatch these both on my skin and see which one's a better match. But before we do that, let's go into the details of the foundation and what NYX claims. I'm gonna read the description from the website. It's lightweight, waterproof, and pigmented AF. Our new Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation hustles as hard as you do. This comfy liquid formula comes in 45 flattering tones that don't transfer. Okay, let me stop there. 45 shades is amazing. Every creamy shade glides on smooth, delivering matte coverage and color that stays true for up to 24 hours. Our little overachiever also works to control shine and mattify your complexion all day long. But it doesn't stop there. This foundation is non-comedogenic. Is that how you pronounce it? I have no idea. Comedogenic, and is suitable for normal, oily, combination, and sensitive skin types. That is honestly one of the best foundation descriptions I have ever read. I don't know if it's gonna live up to that. I haven't watched any reviews. I wanted my opinion to be unswayed and unbiased. I've never heard of a foundation that's suitable for all skin types because I have combination skin. I have normal to dry on the cheeks and then an oily T-zone, so I'm really excited to see how this performs. This is the First Light Priming Filter from Becca. I'm gonna use this on half my face, and I'm gonna test the other half without primer and see how that wears. And I'm also going to be doing one side with a brush and then one side with my Morphe sponge so you guys can see how they both apply. Look who came to visit. So when I went to Ulta to get these foundations, it was really cool with the display. They had different dots for the different undertones of foundation. So they have cool, neutral, and yellow undertones, and I am a yellow undertone girl. Holla at my Asians out there. This one is Natural Buff. Okay. And then this one is Beige. I definitely feel like Beige is a better undertone for me. It's slightly more yellow, and Natural Buff is a little bit lighter than my skin tone, I want to say. Honestly, I feel like I can do both of these. Maybe mix them together, but I'm just gonna go with Beige for the sake of this video being less complicated. So let's go ahead and jump into that. And this foundation retails for $15 on the NYX website right now. Like I said, at Ulta, it's buy one, get one 50% off, so I got two for about $24. It claims to be a full coverage foundation, so let's see if this is worth the hype. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to prime this side of my face using my Becca First Light Priming Filter. I absolutely love this primer, especially if I'm going in with matte foundations, because this one's a hydrating primer. I just feel like it really helps with slippery foundations to stick. I don't know how this one's gonna perform, so we're just gonna use this one. This primer never fails me, and it's one of my favorites, so we're gonna do that. Okay, we're using the shade Beige. I'm going to pump it out onto my mixing plate right here. I'm gonna take a trusty 2 pumps. I'm gonna do this side with a brush, and then this side with a beauty sponge. Let's go ahead and get into it. It's definitely not very thick. It's a very liquidy foundation. And I'm also gonna change the lighting settings on my camera every so often so you guys can see it in different light. I know sometimes cameras alter what foundation looks like and what skin looks like, so I'll change that one for you later on. So far, the brush isn't bad. It's just, I feel like it's not a full coverage as they say it is. You guys know I prefer my makeup sponges to brushes any day. I do feel like it's getting a little bit streaky, but let's just keep rolling with it. Okay, yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good match right here. I know they collaborated with Alyssa Ashley to do all these shades. And she collaborated on like the darker shades mostly, but I think she did a really amazing job with like all the tones that they have and all the undertones. Actually, I think I remember her saying that you have to let the foundation sit for a little bit to reach its true color, and I'm just gonna do that. So far it's looking pretty good. It looks a little bit darker than my neck, but I like to have a tan face. Actually contemplating on doing my other side with this other shade and see how it compares. I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm actually doing the other side in Natural Buff to see how it compares to Beige. Okay, and I'm going to be using my Morphe Beauty sponge. I absolutely love this sponge. It's so nice. I definitely don't think this is like full coverage. I know my Hailey's Beauty foundation, like that one is full coverage. I feel like this one's like more of a light to medium, but we'll see if this is buildable. So far, I'm loving how it looks with a sponge. Definitely more than the brush. Okay, I'm gonna see if this is buildable. Both sides look actually really nice. This side does look a little bit more yellow. I will say that it is pretty noticeable for me. Oh, hi Dwighty. Let's see if we can build this up. I'm actually gonna go in with this side with a sponge just to fix out the streaks. I did have a lot of streaks like up here just because like this is a problem area for me whenever I use a brush. Dwight's like scratching my chair behind me, so if you hear anything, that's him. Okay, let's see if we can build this side up with the coverage. Oh yeah, that's definitely building right there. Seeing a huge difference. Okay, so it's not full coverage like right off the bat, but you can definitely build some coverage right here. I'm gonna do more on the forehead because I feel like I need it. And I'm actually gonna wear this to work tonight, so I'll be back later on tonight to check in and show you how it looks in like bathroom light. Okay, yeah, that's definitely, like, do you see the distinction between those two sides? It's definitely a buildable coverage. So far, I'm loving the finish and the application of this foundation. I do like it a lot better with a sponge rather than a brush. Don't get me wrong, I like applying my foundations with a brush sometimes, but like overall I like using a sponge more. Some foundations the brush does work better, but in this case I don't think so. And right now we're gonna do the rest of the face and see how makeup applies on top of this, so we're back. I'm gonna do some concealer, and as you can see, I don't really need it, other than like highlighting purposes. Especially with this side, I really packed it on underneath my eye, and you can totally see the coverage. And you can see my eye here has a little bit of a dark circle under it, and I didn't really pack on the foundation underneath the eye as much as I did with this one. So I'm impressed, to say the least. We're still gonna do some concealer though. We're gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer. This one is in the shade light medium beige. Okay, so now I'm gonna dust off this powder, and I do have to tell you guys that after baking for like not even 5 minutes, my face feels really, really dry. Especially on like right here for some weird reason. I know that this is like a matte foundation, like super matte as they claim, so that might be it. I am feeling it on both sides of my face though, not just with the one that I primed. So just to let you guys know that. If you do have dry skin like me, or like parts of me, because I only have dry skin here, you may want to do like a hydrating primer, like moisturizer that's really hydrating before putting this on. Whew, that powder is super brightening on my nose. I need to tone that down a little bit. We're just gonna do the rest of my face, and we're gonna see how makeup applies over top of this foundation. So far the powder was pretty nice. And now doing like bronzer. Seems to be going on pretty well, although this bronzer doesn't seem to be sticking as well as it does with my other foundations. I wonder why that is. Maybe I shouldn't have set it with the powder. Also, I didn't feel like I needed to set the foundation because it was already drying down pretty dry, but I always set my foundations just because I'm extra like that. I am seeing dry patches like right here where I applied the powder. Interesting, because I always moisturize my face, and this is the side with the primer. Alright, I need to fix this nose right here. It's looking gross and shabby. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're gonna do the highlight, and so far everything's applying pretty nicely. I just think that the foundation dries down so matte that other makeup doesn't have anything to stick to, and the makeup isn't as like dark or vibrant as it is with other foundations that I've worn. Butter bronzer usually shows up a little bit more on my skin. I don't know if it's just this foundation or if I'm just having an off day with applying it. This highlight seems to be applying okay though. And I'm using Pixie Glowy Gossamer Duo to do this. Woohoo, I love that glow. Okay, my face does feel really powdery. I am gonna spray some MAC Fix Plus to kind of set everything down and like melt it into the skin, so. Okay, so far that does feel a lot better. I think I will go in with more bronzer later just because it's looking a little bit light for me. This side looks kind of okay, but this side just looks like not that great. I don't know if it's because I'm having an off day and I haven't done makeup in a long time and I'm just trying to get back into it, or if it is the foundation. So I am going to try this a couple more times before I upload this video, so stay tuned. Okay, so I am back with my full face and right now it is 11:38. I'm gonna be wearing this foundation all day, so stay tuned. Right now I can tell you that it looks pretty decent. It is emphasizing a little bit of my texture right under my eye, but it's not a big deal. It feels very lightweight and pretty dry. Not in like a bad way, but you know how like some foundations, even after you set it, it's still a little bit tacky? It's not the case with this one. It feels super smooth on my skin. And so far I'm loving it, and I will let you know how it goes throughout the rest of the day. And I'll check in a couple of hours to show you guys how it wears. Alright guys, I am back for my first check-in. It is now 2:27, so it's been about like 3-ish hours since I first applied it. And I have to say that this foundation looks amazing. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. Hello. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I say it all the time. My problem areas are my T-zone and especially my smile lines. Foundation tends to sink in, especially on this side, and so far I'm not seeing any sinkage. And anything in my forehead, like there's no, like it usually sinks into my wrinkles, like when I do that, but I don't see anything, and it has been pretty hot today. And whenever I film foundation videos and like first review, wear test type of videos with foundations, I purposely don't turn on the AC in my apartment because then I sweat, and then you know, like if it can withstand that, like you know it's a good foundation. And it's been pretty hot today, not as hot as it usually is, but still like I'm breaking a little bit of a sweat, and it looks really, really nice. Usually I like to test out foundations by like just pressing my fingers on my face, and usually after a couple of hours it starts to fade and it comes off, but there's nothing on my fingers, like not even on my nose, because my nose is the oiliest. Like there's nothing there. I am super impressed with this foundation so far. Wearing this to work to get the ultimate wear test because it gets really, really hot where I work and I tend to sweat a lot and get really oily. So let's see how this wears until the end of the night, but so far it's wearing pretty beautifully and I'm loving it so far. Hey guys, so I'm back for another check-in. It's now 10:05. I'm sitting on my bathroom floor because this is the only way I can prop my camera up, but for the most part, this foundation looks super good still. I know I'm a little bit oily in the T-zone, but I'm not as oily as I usually am after a long shift of work. I stand next to a grill all night, and literally if I was wearing any other foundation, with the exception of like one or two, I would be like a grease ball and I would feel like a grease ball. And right now my oil feels super controlled even after sweating for like the past 4 hours, which is super nice. Again, my face still feels like pretty set down. The oilier, well, Dwight's meowing, and my AC is going, so sorry if you hear that. I do feel oily in the T-zone. You can see the shine, but for the most part, the foundation hasn't rubbed off anywhere except for my nose. I did have to blow my nose earlier. Sorry, this is like super shaky. I did have to blow my nose earlier, so that's why it's kind of like rubbing off there. But even in my smile lines, like usually foundation sinks into my smile lines like hardcore, but look at that. Like I don't see any sinkage at all. And this is with 10 plus hours of wear. Hi, Dwighty. And the train's going by right now. So yeah, that's the first day completed of wearing this foundation. I'm definitely gonna test this out a little bit more and leave my final thoughts in the description box below like I always do. But so far, I really like this foundation and will continue to use it. I'm also going to link my foundation shades in other lines down below if you guys want to check the description box and compare. I know it helps you guys, and a lot of people have asked me to do that on my previous videos, so I'm going to do that in the description box. So make sure you guys check that out, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good. And I will see you guys in my next video.